Hare Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances of the Shishra Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to this morning's class. Today we will be discussing from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 7, verse 27. And the chapter is entitled Lord Chaitanya and Five Features. We're very happy to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami with us. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Shishra Prabhupada and all glories to you, Maharaj.
Well, glories to Prabhupada. Can you do the translation and purport?
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, I can do that.
I'll just do Bengali.
Okay. Do you want to chant the Bengali and then I follow after you, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have it. I'm kind of sick, so I need.
Oh, I'm sorry, Maharaj. Yes, I can do the rest.
Okay. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vinda jagat ḍubila jīvera haila bīja nāśa tāhā dekhi pāṅca janera parama ullāsa. Okay, take over.
When the five members of the Pañca-tattva saw the entire world drowned in love of Godhead, and the seed of the material enjoyment and the living entities completely destroyed, they all became exceedingly happy. Srila Prabhupada's purport. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhashya that since the living entities all belong to the marginal potency of the Lord, each and every living entity has a natural tendency to become Krishna conscious, although at the same time, the seed of material enjoyment is undoubtedly within him. The seed of material enjoyment, watered by the course of material nature, fructifies to become a tree of material entanglement that endows the living entity with all kinds of material enjoyment. To enjoy such material facilities is to be afflicted with the three material miseries. However, when by nature's law there is a flood, the seeds within the earth become inactive. Similarly, am I saying something? Because I'm hearing a voice. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought someone was saying something to me. However, when by nature's law there is a flood.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. The seeds within the earth become inactive. Similarly, as the inundation of love of Godhead spreads all over the world, the seeds of material enjoyment become impotent. Thus, the more the Krishna conscious movement spreads, the more the desire for material enjoyment decreases. Okay, wow. The seed of material enjoyment automatically becomes impotent with the increase of the Krishna conscious movement. Instead of being envious that Krishna consciousness is spreading all over the world by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, those who are jealous should be happy, as indicated here by the words parama ullāsa. But because they are kanishta adhikaris or prakrita bhaktas, materialistic devotees who are not advanced in spiritual knowledge, they are envious instead of happy. And they try to find faults in the Krishna consciousness movement. Yet Srimad Prabodhananda Saraswati writes in his Chaitanya Chandramrita that when influenced by Lord Chaitanya's Krishna conscious movement, materialists become averse to talking about their wives and children. Supposedly, learned scholars give up their tedious studies of Vedic literature. Yogis give up their impractical practices of mystic yoga. Ascetics give up their austere activities of penance and austerity. And sannyasis give up their study of Sankhya philosophy. Thus, they are all attracted by the bhakti yoga practices of Lord Chaitanya and cannot relish a mellow superior to that of Krishna consciousness. Wow.
Om Gyantimirandasya Gyanajana Salakaya Chaksunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Vishnu Budaya Krishna Vastai Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvase Sasunyavadi Pastyatya Satarine Manchakalpa Tarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevachatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare. So by the advent and the prediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there is a wave of Krishna consciousness that has been started and is gradually spreading to different places around the globe. And that is the Lord's desire. He wanted to do something very special in this age. He wanted to make the whole world God conscious. And he was doing it, and he's making it easy enough for everyone to come up to that standard. And the process is to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. In this same chapter, you'll see there's a verse number 74, actually, which talks about how the chanting of the holy name is the only religious principle in this age. And this is the essence of all Vedic scriptures. So Lord Chaitanya has emphasized that as the means for self-realization. And it is happening, but there is a group of people, and sometimes they call themselves devotees, but they're actually we call them neophyte or not even developed to the point of devotional activity, but they want to find fault with the Krishna consciousness movement. Why? Because they are envious. What is that envy based on? That they see that their materialistic life is being threatened by the movement of the Krishna consciousness society. And because of that feeling of loss of sense gratification or the so-called freedom that comes with the idea that I'm the controller, which is all an illusion anyway, they find fault with this movement and look for ways to criticize. And just like there are so many asampradayas who have no connection with anything from the standard of acharyas. They, well, some sannyasi comes and he starts a movement and he makes his own plan. Says you don't have to follow anything, you just have to chant this one mantra. And then there's a small fee, which I'm using so I can use it to spread this movement even more. So please give me the fee. And if you chant this mantra, and then you'll be free from all um, uh, health problems in the world, and then you can be happy, and then you can see that the world is meant for your enjoyment, and then you can take advantage of that and then exploit that and have so much unlimited happiness in the name of some kind of so-called spiritual process. So this is what's going on in today's world. And there's a lot, and then even within the society of Krishna consciousness, there's those who are envious, who don't want this movement spread. They want to find some secure position within the movement, make some money, get some followers, and become more and more expert at sense gratification in the name of spiritual activities. So there's a lot of that's going on here. But Lord Chaitanya's movement is very powerful because he's directing it. Although the devotees are acting it, he's still here directing it and pushing this movement through his devotees who have fully surrendered their lives to the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada said instead of being envious, one should be happy because it's for the benefit of all living entities. Krishna consciousness is the natural um, standard of the living entity's existence, which is based on the principle of service. And everyone has to serve in some capacity or another. If one is not serving within a spiritual movement, they're serving in the material sense. The service is there. People want to be served rather than want to be, they want to serve. They think becoming someone who is accepting service or someone who's qualified to lead others is the goal. But our movement is based on Gopi Bhatter Padave Kamalayor Dasu Dasu Anudas, to become servant of the servant of the servant, and to serve those who are serving the Supreme Lord in pure devotional service. And that is the highest form of spiritual position that one can become, the servant of those who are actually serving the Supreme Lord in pure devotion. So this movement is destined to be successful. Lord Chaitanya said, Prativityachi Avanagadaram. In other words, in every town and village, my name will be chanted, and it's already happening. Uh, people know about many people know about Krishna, but very few know about Lord Chaitanya. So our movement now is to explain that actually Krishna is here in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he is even more merciful than Krishna because Krishna said, you surrender to me, you follow this process, and then you can actually gain a footing in spiritual circles. But Lord Chaitanya says, no, just chant, dance, take prasadam, and read some nice books, meet some nice people, and enjoy the process of Krishna consciousness through this simple process of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Krishna Smaranam. So he's very merciful, therefore, Namo Mahavadhanaya Krishna Prema Padayate. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namani Gauda Triste Namaha. He is free from all personal desires. He only wants to make everyone Krishna conscious. And therefore, he's the most magnanimous, and he's using his different energies to spread his movement everywhere around the world. And it's basically and essentially and most particularly focused on the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Nam Sankirtan, Krishna Varna, Swatha Krishna, Sangopanga, Swaparshadam, Yagyai, Sankirtanai, Prayai, Yajanti Hi, Sumeda Saha. He's come to spread this movement in the form of Harinam Sankirtan. And some people think that this is just some kind of spiritual entertainment. They don't understand it's the highest expression of love of God that one can endow in this particular age. Particularly in Kali Yuga, it's been emphasized and also spoken in the Shastras that in this age, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the supreme expression of devotional activity. So one who chants the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one who develops an eagerness to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one who spreads the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is actually the best of all devotees. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was traveling through one area of India where there was hardly anyone chanting, he was feeling very, very unhappy. He was chanting alone. He was traveling alone. And then he saw these two little cowherd boys taking care of cows. And he came over to them. And then he saw that while they were taking cows, they were taking care of cows, they were chanting Hare Krishna. And Lord Chaitanya became so happy. And he said, you are the best of all of the cowherd boys. He asked them what their names was. And then they told him their names. And then he congratulated them and he blessed them. And then he continued on. So he was just to see these two cowherd boys chanting Hare Krishna gave him great pleasure. So this is how we please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by having Harinam Sankirtan, by chanting our rounds, and by inspiring others to do the same. And Lord Chaitanya did that. I just finished reading a particular book that's not so much in circulation. It's about one of Lord Chaitanya's personal assistants. His name was Govinda, not his godbrother Govinda, but another Govinda, who was traveling with Lord Chaitanya when he was going to South India to spread the Krishna conscious movement, and how Lord Chaitanya went everywhere. He was meeting the Mayavadis, the Buddhists, the ordinary villagers, the prostitutes, the so-called swamis and tapasyas, also devotees. And everywhere he went, he just simply chanted and danced. And he inspired others to do the same. He simply by seeing him chanting and dancing, others became inclined to chant and dance also. And then everywhere he was going, the movement was, and the holy name was just going everywhere and everywhere. And that's mentioned also. But here in this particular scripture, it's a small book, describes in detail how he converted everyone to the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And he did that for 6 years, just traveling from place to place to place to place to place. And even those who were inimical towards him, which were very few, still he tolerated that and gave them love of God in the form of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So he's the most magnanimous. Even those who were, what we say, adverse to what he was doing or criticized, he tolerated it and he found ways to convince them to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra through his natural humility. And you'll see that also in this chapter, how he converted 60,000 Mayavadis to become devotees and chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But this is Lord Chaitanya. He wants everyone in the world to chant Hare Krishna. And it's our job as devotees of Mahaprabhu to assist him in bringing this about. And anyone who takes up this process of spreading Krishna consciousness becomes empowered by Lord Chaitanya to do the work and spread chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. He's ready to empower anyone who is sincerely trying to spread this movement to every place and every village. And here at the very end of the purport, it says, what happened by certain people, scholars, they stopped studying the literature. Mystic yogis gave up their practices. The ascetics stopped performing their austerities. The sannyasis stopped studying Sankhya. And so everyone that met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everyone that came in contact with the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra actually gave up whatever else they were doing because they understood by experience that this chanting is the highest. Golokita Premadana Harinam Sankirtan Ratin Janmino Kane Upai. It's coming directly from the spiritual world. It's the essence of Vrindavan Dham, where everyone glorifies Krishna in different ways, and the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the constant sound in Sri Vrindavan Dham, where it says all singing, all talking is singing, all dancing, all walking is dancing, and the constant sound is Krishna's transcendental flute, which plays the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and other transcendental attractive sounds that bring his devotees to his lotus feet in loving devotional service. So this movement is wonderful. Everyone who's connected with this movement should stop finding fault in it and stop finding fault with devotees, stop finding fault, and just dive into this chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and your life will be happy. All of your problems will be gone, completely finished, never to come back again, and you'll experience something that you cannot describe. Because it is not describable. It's only something you could experience. It defies any form of description because the soul is now nourished by the sound vibration. As I was reading last night, that there was an example that was given that if you take an intravenous shot in the body, it has effect throughout the whole body. So similarly, when we hear and chant the holy names of the Lord, the entire consciousness and all the parts of the body become enlivened by the sound of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And you should understand, of course, it's not a very important part, but I'll mention it, that in your body there are so many living entities. You're not the only one there. You are the main one, and whatever happens to you is the rest of these living entities also become affected directly. But there's millions of living entities inside of your body in the form of these different cells. Every cell is actually a soul is in there in every cell. So when you take prasadam, you're actually benefiting so many living entities. And when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, they're also being nourished by that sound vibration. And when your body dissolves, these living entities go somewhere else. And having been connected with the sound vibration and prasadam, many of them take good births in their next life. So yeah, we can preach to our body itself, which is full of living entities. So this is the power of the Lord Chaitanya's mercy. It's all pervading. So this movement of Krishna consciousness is unique in the sense that it has come by the grace of Lord Chaitanya's intimate associate, Sri A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is a personal associate of Lord Nityananda in the spiritual world. And he has come to bring this transcendental message through the form of Harinam, Sankirtan, and of course, Srimad Bhagavatam and other Vedic literatures, which emphasize the importance of pure devotional service to the Lord, centered around glorification of the Lord. Satam prasangam mamavirya sambidam vada bhavanti hit karna rasayana kada. Chant, dance, and stop complaining about everything else, and just just dive into this process. And if you do, there's no loss. You'll still be able to carry on your so-called activities in the material world, but you'll see, one thing you'll start to see some of the activities you're doing is just useless, and you'll stop those. And the others, which are essential, they'll become forms of enjoyment, although they're simply based on the external energy. Because when the devotee becomes Krishna consciousness, as Lord Chaitanya says in the Shikshastika prayer, the Sarvatma Snaparam Param Vijayate Krishna Sankirtanam. Sarvatma means all. Snapanam means bath. Everything connected to the devotee becomes transcendentally, what we say, energized by the chanting of the holy name. Your home, your wife, your family, your husband, your kids, everything that you own also becomes, what we say, spiritually nourished. When you become fully engaged in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Iti soda sakam nam nam kali kamasanam nata paradeo payo. Sarva Vedashu drishyate Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. This verse we just quoted is from the Kali Santara Upanishad, spoken by Lord Brahma himself, in which he says, after searching through all Vedic literature, one cannot find a more direct, sublime, and easy, simple process of self-realization in all Vedic literature than the chanting of these 16 names. Iti soda sakam nam na. What are those 16 names? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. So that's coming right strictly from the Vedas. The Upanishads or the Shrutis are the essence of the Vedas, and Lord Brahma is illustrating the importance of, emphasizing the importance of this chanting over all other forms of spiritual practice. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Such a powerful class, such a powerful verse. It's like so powerful. I'm going to stop sharing and request devotees to please turn on your videos whenever possible, wherever possible. If you have any questions in the please do raise your hand, put it in the chat. I'll be happy to read it. I do have Parikshit going to back me up, Maharaj, for the hosting, but I just noticed that my supervisor is off today, so I might be able to hang in there a little bit longer, Maharaj.
Actually, yeah, I'm actually a real supervisor.
Yes, Maharaj, yes, Maharaj, and I'm so fortunate that you are my supervisor, the actual one.
At least for today, anyway.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. I think it's by your mercy that she's off so that I can hang in there a little bit and hoping no one bothers me. But thank you, Maharaj. Shri Devi, go ahead with your question.
Thank you, Anasuya. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to you, Guru Maharaj, for this wonderful class and reminding us again about the holy name and its supremacy. So supposing I don't have so much brains to do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, this, that, I don't remember verses. I don't have so much Shastric knowledge. All I know to do is go to the temple every day and take part in the kirtan. Is that enough for me to go back to Godhead?
You have to take prashad too.
Yes. Yes.
Prabhupada even says that. He says, yeah, if you become fixed in the chanting of the holy names of the Lord, that is sufficient to bring you to the point of perfection. He said the Vedic literatures are, of course, important. And in this age, people are not very inclined to do anything spiritual. So we need to read and study these Vedic literatures in order to get a clarity on how we should proceed in our spiritual life. But if you're convinced that all you have to do is chant and dance and take prasad and associate with devotees, then you you have reached the essence of the process. But you have to make it something that is not just occasional, it has to be what we say frequent. You might say as much as possible.
Constant.
Constant.
Yes, yes. We just had a very nice program at Amritanam Mataji's house. We chanted 108 names of Lord Nashikadev, offering tulsi to the deities, and then we had bhajans and kirtan.
Nice, nice. Yeah, you should package that and then distribute it to everybody.
She's called her neighbors, she called some other friends of her mother-in-law, so they all joined in too.
Yeah, people they're open, a lot of them, because they're lost. They're seeing the world around them changing, and they can't really adapt to a lot of the changes, which are actually making it more difficult for them to maintain their normal life. So they're looking for something. They don't know what they're looking for, but we got it. As Prabhupada very succinctly said, and very directly, he said, everyone is looking for Krishna, but everyone is not aware of that. No, actually, he said, everyone is looking for happiness, therefore everyone is looking for Krishna. Yeah.
Haribol. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Our obeisance to
So
you.
inspire people. Yeah, have as many programs as you can. Every day.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yes, Guru Yes, Guru Maharaj, please.
Every day there should be a program. Not that we sit home and, twiddle our thumbs. No, we should have programs every.
Yes, Guru. There were some non-devotees also, and they were telling that we wanted something. We were desiring for a program, and you called, and they were quite happy offering the tulsis and doing the dan and all. So it was very heartwarming for them. So
Yeah.
we did nice kirtans.
And all of your family members got purified.
Srila Prabhupada's mercy, your mercy. I'm just doing my duty.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Krishna Kaviraj, you're up next.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Guru Maharaj, this Krishna consciousness, is this like a level of consciousness? So when a devotee reaches this point, then there is no more material entanglement.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There's no more material entanglement because there's no more material activities either. And whatever reactions that were there from previous material activities are destroyed by the power of bhakti.
Okay. The one becomes Krishna consciousness and then they just stay Krishna conscious.
Yeah. once you reach it, you won't give it up. But you also have to, when you get it in small proportions, you have to make sure you keep protecting it. Just like when a little child is young, requires some more protection, but as he grows old, he can learn how to protect himself. So yeah, as we move in Krishna consciousness, we have to be very careful not to allow our Krishna consciousness to be interfered with by anything, either internal or external. Water the seed, and the plant will gradually grow, but then the weeds come up also. So you have to plug out the weeds. The weeds are personal interests. Personal, something that is contrary to devotional service. I want to be worshipped. I think I'm better than everyone else because I'm making advancement in Krishna consciousness. I'm looking for position. I'm looking for distinction. These are weeds that grow up along with the bhakti creeper. One has to be very diligent to recognize them and pluck them out or remove them by staying focused on the essence.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Krishna Kaviraj. Vairaj, you're up next.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Maharaji, I have a question about, I'm sorry about my voice, it's 5 o'clock where I am in the morning. My question to you, Maharaji, is how to balance the Krishna consciousness that takes us beyond the need for the material things with having the need for material things, because we live in a material world, and to be able to provide for your wife, for your children. So having able to balance those two things, the need for spiritual upliftment and the material needs of raising a family. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, it's mentioned in the Shastras that one should live according to their quota and not beyond. Ishavasham idam sarvam yat kinchit jagat te jagatena jaktena bundi chahamagradaha kasaswidanam. In other words, one should live simply to take care of the basic needs, as you mentioned, but not beyond. Not that we're trying to live very gorgeously. We're following the trend of the material world by getting more and more material things to decorate our house. In other words, just live simply. That way you have more time and energy for Krishna consciousness. So do the needful when it comes to family, when it comes to earning for supporting the family, do the needful, but not more. And that requires some sincerity, that I want to downsize of my material activities to the point where I can take care of my responsibilities and not more than that. So simplicity is the principle. Live simply. Of course, Srila Prabhupada emphasizes us to get away from the dependence on the materialistic society and create community and live closer to the land and get everything we need from God's true nature and create a community like that. That's what Srila Prabhupada has been pushing us even since the time he first started preaching Krishna consciousness. And he also emphasized that before he departed, going back to a more simplified lifestyle. So we're plugged into the high-tech society with all its gadgets and all its, what we say, varieties of ways, because material life is actually very boring. So the materialists We're always thinking how to create new things to overcome this idea of boredom. Let's do something different. Let's do something new. Let's do something more. You know, you can get, how many pairs of shoes do you need? You only got 2 feet. If you have 1 or 2 pairs, if you have 2 pairs of shoes, I think that's enough. But, some people, you open up their closets and you get inundated with shoes, It's like, looks like a Hare Krishna Sunday feast, shoes everywhere. Or I gotta have the latest fashion. I gotta have the latest watch. I gotta have the most updated computer. I have to have the most, fastest car. So all of these things that are ornaments by the materialist society that somehow or other, sometimes devotees get attracted to these things. So learn how to live simply.
Thank you, Maharaji. I think
Then you can manage your affairs easy.
yeah, it's about the balance. But pardon my ignorance, Maharaji, but I think some of the needs, the material needs, also like with spiritual upliftment. Yes, we see through the temporary nature of these material things, but do you think that the need for material things also changes as our life, with different phases of our lives?
Yeah.
Like if you have a young child, the material needs may be high. If I have a family and wife to support, rather than if I'm on my own, my material needs would be less. So it's a very subjective thing, in my opinion, Maharaji, and please direct me in the right direction.
It's subjective only to a certain degree. What do we need, actually? We need a place to live. We need some food. We need some medical arrangements to take care of our health. And of course, you might even say we need some education. But how much time, energy are you going to put in developing all of these things? These things can be easily arranged. But what it takes for success, it takes community. It takes more than one family coming together and doing it and working in a conjoint way to help each other, sharing labor, sharing resources. And that's that everybody has to have a car, everybody has to have a computer, everybody has to have, the latest whatever is on the market. It's live simply. You can do it. First of all, you have to develop that mindset, and you have to also see how to do it. And a more rural type of lifestyle is conducive to that life, to that way of living. If you want to work hard all day and get some money so you can pay, $2,000 a month for rent.
Thank you,
Why go down that road, When Prabhupada was here, he showed us. He drew a picture of a house on a piece of paper. This was in New Vrindavan. And he said, you should build houses like this in the community, and then devotees can live. A family of 4 can easily live in that house that he drew. It wasn't very, what we say, elaborate, but it had enough facilities to provide for everyone.
It goes so much again. It's
Yeah.
such a big challenge, Maharaji, with the current capitalist system that we live in.
That's why Prabhupada said, get out of it. Get out of this, what do you call it, soul-killing civilization. They put so many demands on your life too. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this, you have to pay this tax, you have to take this injection, you have to do this, you have to do that. We don't have to do any of this stuff. We have the communities that are in Pennsylvania called the Amish. They pulled back from all of the social and economic activities of society, and they live very simply. They don't even have cars. They have horses and buggies. They don't have electricity either. So, you know, it depends on you. I'm not saying you have to go to that level, but your basic needs are easily what we say taken care of. When you see how to do it, you can do it. You just have to be free from, but again, the influence of today's Western society is very strong. And so to try to do it alone is very difficult. That's why community is more conducive to and more successful in bringing about a more simple lifestyle. And community also helps to raise children in a more natural and what we say healthy way. It's good for children. It's good for the mothers also within the communities. Work resources can be developed and shared. But we live in these nuclear families, which are also products of capitalism, in order to sell people as much of the individual items as they can. People live in a house, everybody has a car, everybody has a computer, everybody has all of the individual things that everybody else has in the same house. Waste of time, waste of money, waste of energy.
Thank you, Maharaji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so I'm talking about the bigger solution and not the peace in our own individual life now, the way we live. We can try to downsize our material, what we say, needs to the point where we can still function. We can do that. Unless it'll make it a little bit more easier for us to practice Krishna consciousness. Because Krishna consciousness requires time. You have to put time into it. And when you don't have time, then it becomes very difficult to really develop your Krishna consciousness.
Thank you, Vairaj. Anand, you're up next.
Sorry. Yeah. Guru Maharaj, Sarvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. That was such a beautiful answer, Guru Maharaj. That was very enlightening. But then my question is, we see a kind of a growing trend within ISKCON. In fact, when I was in the UK, I heard almost every class they would discuss this. The concept of Yukta Vairagya, wherein the justification would be buy anything, do anything, and do it for Krishna. You could buy a Mercedes, probably A class, but still use it for Krishna, go to the temple, carry the devotees and everything. And yeah, I mean, almost every, which is very convincing, Guru Maharaj. How do we then kind of reconcile both these?
Yukta Vairagya has become Yukta. No, there's no Vairagya there. It's the Vairagya.
Let's say buy a big house and hold big programs, and in fact they give examples of devotees who build big houses, they host programs there.
If you have the means, fine, but you don't have to go out and try to develop the means and then start to do it. If you're already situated like that, use whatever you have to serve. But if you're not in that position, don't think you have to achieve all that. Prabhupada said you can be Krishna conscious from wherever you are at any time.
Right, Guru Maharaj. This makes so much sense.
Consciousness is not dependent on anything material.
Then this makes so much sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Those who are rich,
Over endeavor.
let them stay in their opulent situation, but let them use it for Krishna consciousness. Those who are not, don't try to follow those who are really, living on a more higher economic and social platform. You don't have to do that. Stay where you are, develop wherever you are.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Got it. It's clear.
It doesn't cost anything to chant Hare Krishna.
Yes. So over endeavor basically is what we're trying to say. Let's not do this.
It's not yukta vairagya, it's yukta.
Maharaj, I love the way you literally 100%. Maharaj, it's so true.
It's mind blowing, it's mind blowing, yeah.
It's such an excuse, Maharaj. I agree. It's sometimes I feel like, that name, that it's the name, or it's the philosophy. It's been so loosened and misused and misquoted just to hide behind it, and it's almost like scapegoating. Like, it's so funny.
And it's very
not
convincing as well, It's very convincing as well. Yeah.
If you know if you know the history of our movement, you know that the movement in the United States was so powerful that Krishna was sending so many men, money, and so much facilities. Temples were opening, devotees were coming, money was pouring in like crazy. But what happened after some time, there was a change that people started using the facilities that Krishna was giving to increase the quality of their lifestyle. In other words, to live more opulently. They were buying, what we call it, $150 sweaters, and, shoes that cost $200. In other words, the devotees were taking advantage. And then what happened? Krishna pulled back. And then you'll see the movement in the United States really dropped fast. And then we went through what we say a desert time, and that was around the 1980s and 90s. Because, Krishna will send more and more as you use it. But then if you start using it for your own sense gratification, then it becomes a source of what we say a block in one's Krishna consciousness. Krishna will stop sending, and that's what he did. Temples were folding, closing, devotees were leaving, money wasn't coming in anymore. They turned to the Indian community to try to save our society. That's what happened. That happened in the United States. If you study the history, you'll see that.
Thank you, Mark. It's much. It's definitely that there's a history of how money, everything was misused, miscoded, misrepresented. Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah, devotees were
How beautifully.
Devotees were living really, nice clothes, nice cars, everything. The big, nice watches. I don't even have a watch.
Maharaj, my dad bought me 3 watches in the past 15 years. It's still sitting in my drawer because it doesn't fit on my wrist. So it's Krishna's arrangement, I guess.
And guess what? I still know what time it is, even without a watch.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
You
right.
have to have a watch that talks to you, so you're not alone, So they got these watches. Do everything else but tell you the time.
It is amazing, Maharaj, how today's times, so much money is spent on unnecessary material amenities.
You see, the whole world is going to hell. They got cars that drive by themselves now. we don't need, robots can drive cars. Robots can cook.
With no devotion. Right, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Completely.
World is really, it's crazy. It's actually insane.
It was such a beautiful answer, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. It's really enlightening. Could have never thought in that direction at all.
And they got some of the ugliest cars coming out on the market, considering them to be really advanced. They're so ugly. They look like something from the hellish planets.
Marge is so true. There was I don't know what the car is called because I don't it looks like a cricket to me. And I always tell people, why does this car look so ugly? It looks like a cricket, like a like an like an insect.
There's another
Like
one that looks like a garbage truck.
yes, Marge, yes, it does. Yes, one of it looks like a garbage truck. You're right, Marge. And it looks so ugly on the road.
The Cybertruck, the Tesla.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep, exactly. I was thinking the same way also.
It
Same
looks
truck.
like there's some guy there who's in the middle of a war, and he's just bought this car to protect himself from the bullets coming into. And so,
Such a waste of money. Oh, Krishna, just to get from point A to point B, we spent so much money on a car.
you
Hare
can
Krishna.
see how materialistic society develops.
Yes, Marge.
Cannot find happiness in materialism. So what they do is try to recreate materialism in so many different ways. And this idea is actually we're making advancement, we're enjoying something different, something new. But it just keeps going like that. And then ultimately it crashes. It'll crash eventually.
Crazy. Kali Yuga Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Anand, for the follow-up question. Prachi, you're up next.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you, Maharaj. Maharaj, we talked, we learned about chanting in this verse today, and you gave a beautiful class. Thank you so much, Maharaj. My question is, how can we do chanting 24/7? Like in our mind, like how can we have that constant surrender to Krishna throughout the day, although not having the beads in our hands?
Practice. Just practice chanting as much as you can. Remind yourself, oh, I'm not chanting, I should be chanting. And pray to Krishna, my dear Krishna, when I forget you, do something to help me remind me of you. And Krishna will do that. I want to remember you, but I have a tendency to forget you. So Krishna, help me to remember you always. Prayer is powerful, but practice has to be also there. Practice remembering Krishna. Practice seeing everything in this world as the property of the Supreme Lord. We own nothing. Nothing is ours. And it's very logical. You come into this world with nothing, you leave the same way, and you're saying, this is mine. You're renting it, maybe you're borrowing it, but you don't own it. That's for sure. So if you're renting it, that means somebody else owns it. If you're borrowing it, that means somebody else owns it. Who's that other person? The one who created it.
So Maharaj, if we chant more rounds, is it like there are, I'm thinking in terms of if we do 16 rounds instead of 16, if we do more rounds, slowly and steadily that process of remembering Krishna starts building, and we can then have that mental meditation rather than sounding Krishna's name, like when we are working, when we're cooking.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, practice. In Bengal, they have a saying, Hate koro kaje mukhi bolo hori. Hate koro kaje mukhi bolo hori. Work with your hands, but chant Hari. So yeah, try to remember Krishna always. Practice, pray, and the more you practice, you'll see it becomes more and more natural, more and more easier. Practice. And every time you see, you reflect, oh, I'm not thinking of Krishna. And then you immediately start thinking of Krishna. You can remind yourself every time you're not in the right in that consciousness. I should be thinking of Krishna. And then you do that. Practice, practice, practice. When you're walking along, every step you take, chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
So every time the foot hits the floor, another transcendental name sounds. And then if you keep going like that, you're dancing in a while, a little while, after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then your family members will think, what's happening? And you tell them, I'm happy, so I'm dancing. So you can also dance with me.
That's true. That's true, Maharaj. The more we chant, the more we get in that ecstatic mood, and just feel like dancing. Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that nice question, Prachi. Anyone else has a question before we end this class? Yes, Krishna Kaviraj, go ahead.
Guru Maharaj, how can one accelerate their purification?
You don't want to ask that question.
Okay, Guru Maharaj, I retract that question.
Because your answer will be something you'll... Okay.
Thank you.
You want slow acceleration, or you want to go right to the topmost gear?
Whatever you think is best, Guru Maharaj.
Well, so many answers. You can choose which one you want. Associate more with the devotees, spend more time chanting, have more home programs at your home. If you really want to go faster, give up family life and join the temple. Or join a community. That's more of an accelerated process.
March, yeah, it's now I know why March was pausing.
Prabhupada was in one place in India, and one very distinguished man and his wife, very nicely dressed, obviously educated, they came to Srila Prabhupada, and they very respectful, nicely, Swamiji, please give me your blessings. Prabhupada looked at them and said, you don't want my blessings. No, Swamiji, actually, please give us your blessings. Prabhupada said, you don't want my blessings. Third time he asked again. Prabhupada said, all right, I bless you, your material life is finished. And they just turned around and drifted back into the crowd after that. Prabhupada said, you don't want my blessings. So the spiritual master will bless accordingly.
That's a beautiful conclusion, Maharaj. We got to be careful what we ask for, because when it comes, we will not be able to take it or deal with it. And yeah.
People ask for blessings. I just tell them, just chant Hare Krishna more and more. I tell them, instead of chanting your 16 rounds throughout the day, chant your 16 rounds before breakfast. These are the ones that I emphasize. Make sure you won't touch that dinner table until you finish your 16 rounds.
Hope that helped, Kaviraj, Krishna Kaviraj Prabhu.
That's
Oh,
it.
Silpesh, go ahead.
Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and assembled devotees. Guru Maharaj, you know, you were talking about how we don't own anything. It's all owned by Krishna. He's a proprietor. So in that sense, that can really free us, can't it, if we understand that? Because there's nothing to lose then in this world.
Nothing to gain, nothing to lose.
Yeah, so we need to get into that consciousness that he will provide what we need.
Yeah, he's very kind. He
Yeah.
doesn't say it all belongs to me and you can't have it. He says it all belongs to me, but just use it in the right way and then you can use it. But don't think you're the owner. You're just taking what I gave you to somehow live in this world. It's not yours. You didn't manufacture it. Even your own bodies were given to you by your parents. It's not even your body. It's coming from someone else. And they got their body from there. And it all goes back to the source, ultimately. So we say my body, but it's not even yours. The ingredients that makes up the body is created by Krishna.
In your life, I mean, you're a sannyasi and you're a preacher, so you've left everything behind. Was that an easy journey, or was there struggles in that as well?
One of my favorite occupations was to take something and throw it away. I used to love to do that. I'm still trying to downsize, but nowadays people keep giving you so many things. So I have a lot of books, but that's all. Everything else I just use for travel. That's it. I even have too many books.
Sometimes we need to take that leap of faith and trust in Krishna and just let go of all the fears of hoarding money and, trying to survive in this material world.
Yeah, but don't do it at a risk of your Krishna consciousness.
Sorry, can you say that again, Guru Maharaj?
Don't do it at the risk of your Krishna consciousness.
Right.
That should be something that helps you to become more Krishna conscious and not become less. Prabhupada talks about, what is it called? D.R. Das. D.R. Das was a very wealthy man in India. And he was a member of the court. He was earning something like 50,000 rupees a month. That was like back in the early 1900s. He was completely wealthy. But he decided to give it all up and live simply as a statement that we don't need any of this thing because the British were, there trying to rule the country. So he was rejecting everything, even gave up his job. The devotees told him, don't give up your job, just use the money to spread Krishna consciousness. But he said, no, we want to make a statement. We don't want to work for the British anymore. So he gave up his job and everything. But Prabhupada said after 1 year, he died because the renunciation was too much for him. He couldn't handle it. So do it, but do it where you can still maintain your Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Krishna has to be at the center of our lives always.
Yeah, everything has to be done in order to build our Krishna consciousness and not. So false renunciation is another way to also to destroy your Krishna consciousness.
Use our resources in the service of Krishna.
Yeah. But don't try to accumulate more. That's the point. And see what you don't need too. Look around and see what you don't need. Give it away. Nowadays, you see people, they have these big storehouses. You see them in America. They're huge. They're bigger than houses. They're like gigantic warehouses that you can rent and put all your junk in it. But people have these things. You can, especially in America, huge. They're along the highway. You can see it as you drive along the highway, these big, big warehouses. You can rent them. And what do? Just store your junk. Then after some time you die and somebody else gets it. And you pay money about this to keep it.
True, we have those here now as well.
There's a saying, and even in the Western society, it's a bumper sticker. He who dies with the most toys wins. He who dies with the most toys wins. It's facetious. It's a criticism. You're accumulating all of these things, and now you're going to die. So you died with the most. You're the best. It's a way of criticizing the idea of accumulating so much junk. I could probably come into most of your houses and do a little work there and throw a few things out.
Please, Guru Maharaj. I'd love that.
When I'm in the neighborhood, just invite me in. I don't charge anything either.
Bhaktitirtha Swami used to say, Maharaj, that if we have not used something for 6 months to 1 year, trash it.
Yeah.
That was his policy.
Yeah, it means you don't need it.
We lived without it for 6 months to 1 year, and we never saw it. We're seeing it after a year, so we lived. We didn't die, so just trash it. That was his policy, and he was good in doing that. He was really good.
I live out of a suitcase, so I don't have too many problems. I just have to make sure I don't go overweight on the check-in, that's all.
Thank you, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class. Any questions before we conclude? I would like to. Okay. If there are no questions, Maharaj, I know you're not feeling well for some reason, Maharaj. I've noticed even last year when you came to America, you felt sick. Oh, sure, Maharaj. Oh, I'm sorry, Maharaj. I'm sorry. Yes, Maharaj. We're gonna do one round of chanting. Those are who are able to do that, please do get your bags and your bead bags. That's what I meant. Bead bag, not
Yeah.
bags, bead bag.
I don't know how many rounds I'm going to do because today's Ekadasi and it's a day for extra chanting. So you can stay on as long as you can according to your schedule, but I'm going to be on for a little while. So
That's fine, Maharaj. I have Parikshit on on host, so he can take over.
okay, and so we haven't done this in a while, so maybe we should get back into the essence here.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, forget about breakfast, forget about lunch. Just chant Hare Krishna. It's easier.
So much thank you for that instruction, Guru Maharaj. Chant to finish rounds. I think that I really needed that.
I do too. That's why I did it.
Yes, thank you.
Everyone sit with your back straight. If you're sitting in a chair, sit straight. If you're sitting on cross-legged, also keep the back straight. And we'll start off by getting the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, which is fundamental to our process of chanting. Jai Sri Krishna, Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We can do the screen sharing too with the different deities if you want, if someone could put that up. That we can
Hare
put
Krishna.
pictures of Radha and Krishna.
Sridevi, I made you co-host, so you can do that if you want.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Good.
Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. 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 Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Hare